is in the know for Friday, April 24, the 114th day of 2026. There are 251 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station, 1039 The Moose, live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast, on Facebook, on YouTube, on the platform formerly known as Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. We will look back on day number 1 of the NFL Draft, the day in Cougar sports. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. He is the 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley and the sports. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Not so bad. How are you?
Well, it occurs to me that today is your day at the NFL Draft. You sort of had to sit out yesterday, but today you're all in on round 2?
Yeah, round 2 and 3 today.
Are those on ESPN?
Yeah, I think all ESPN, NFL Network, ABC. I don't know if ABC's still doing their coverage tonight or not, but for sure on ESPN and NFL Network.
All right. Scattered storms possible for this afternoon and into the evening. We will see some clusters of gusty storms with small hail this afternoon into the evening, lingering showers for tomorrow. Shorter term may get a brief break Sunday before Monday night's alert day for strong to severe storms. The unsettled weather continues into next week, and we're going to cool off for Derby weekend. Oaks Day, and Derby Day gets cooler as we go. 62 will be the high on Friday. 62 will be the high on Saturday, then a little warmer on Sunday. But we'll see warmer temperatures between now and then, at least through the weekend. We'll see increasing clouds, some storms this afternoon, a high of 60% chance of rain, a high of 81. Scattered thunderstorms, 30% chance tonight, and an overnight low of 60. And then tomorrow, scattered showers, 30% chance of that, and a high of 78 is what to expect for the first couple of days of your weekend. Beej is on Grana duty today with Brady. Brady has HFM again, so he has no daycare today, and they're moving this weekend. So kind of got pressed into early duty today to help with him, but he's already been.
Where's Brady Cam at?
He's already been entertaining this morning. Let's say that for sure. So
yeah, we should have Brady Cam.
Yeah, he's at that. We've tried it a couple of times with him on the show, or just having him around. And he ends up being much more of a distraction than he does being a compliment.
Just put him on.
To
you've got a third chair over there. I don't think Whitney would mind if he took her chair.
Well, she probably would not. But if he would sit still like Whitney does, then that would be maybe something to be considered. But whatever precipitation that we get through the weekend is not going to substantially help our drought conditions. In fact, it's worsening as we go. There is only a sliver of Kentucky, and it's Sam's hometown area, that Boone, Campbell, and Kenton that don't have drought conditions. It's not to say they're not dry, but they don't have any drought. And now we have it was 4% of the state last week that didn't have any drought. Now it's down to 0.3%, and that's just Boone, Campbell, Kenton, and those areas of Kentucky. Moderate drought conditions, or D1, saw a small increase from the last report from 55% to 55.8%. But the biggest rises we're seeing in the next two drought categories. D2, or now severe drought, is 26%. Up from 23%. Extreme drought, or D3, saw the largest jump from a week ago. It went from 2.86% to 12.5%, and this is that extreme area of western Kentucky, down along the Tennessee border. If you're watching, you can see it on the map. So any precipitation will be welcome, but I don't know that it's going to be substantial enough. Not hearing any precipitation amounts that are being predicted, because it might be spotty. Some of us might get rain, some of us might not. So we will pray for the rain. President Trump has ordered the U.S. military to shoot and kill small Iranian boats that are deploying mines in the Strait of Hormuz. He announced the move yesterday, a day after Iran again displayed its ability to thwart traffic through the channel. He also announced that a ceasefire in Lebanon would be extended by 3 weeks. Also, something new that we heard him say yesterday for the first time is that he claims that there is a rift among the leadership in Iran. I think they're on about their third generation of leadership just since this began. You know, the Ayatollah was taken out in the very beginning. And then I think his son, who was elevated to power, I think he's been injured, disfigured, something. He's been out of sight for sure. And it sounds like that they are infighting in Iran, at least according to the Trump administration. They are infighting in Iran about what deal to bring to the table to meet with the United States again to try and put an end to all of this. So that seems to be the latest over the last 24 hours. A devastating fire has destroyed a residence, a large garage, and multiple cars on Grayson Springs Road. In addition to the Wax Fire Department, the Clarkson, Annetta, East Grayson, and Priceville, that's Hart County, fire departments responded to the blaze in the 14,900 block of Grayson Springs Road last night about 8:30. If you're watching, you're seeing a video of that fire. Firefighters found a double-wide mobile home and large garage on fire, as well as 3 vehicles parked adjacent to the garage. They surrounded the burning property to battle the blaze and placed firefighters in about 15 feet section between the residence and garage. There were several propane tanks on the property, which, you know, obviously posed as a explosion hazard. The emergency management director, Carrie Sims, was on scene offering assistance to the family. Sheriff's office also arrived at the scene to provide some traffic control, and there were no injuries reported. Firefighters didn't clear the scene until about midnight as well. So anyway, it's an intense fire, it looked like. Kentucky's seasonally adjusted February 2026 unemployment rate was 4.2%. According to the Kentucky Center for Statistics, the February of 2026 jobless rate was down 0.1 percentage points from January and down 0.6 percentage points from 1 year ago. Our civilian labor force now is 2.1 million and some change in February, which is a decrease of 5,800 individuals from January. The number is down 4,400 from January to February. So shrinking labor force in Kentucky. Attorney General Russ Coleman has joined Kentucky prosecutors, law enforcement advocates, and medical professionals to release an updated framework for the collaborative response to child sexual abuse. As you've been hearing most of the month of April, April is Child Abuse Awareness Month, and the Kentucky Multidisciplinary Commission on Child Sexual Abuse unveiled its Kentucky Model Protocol for local multidisciplinary teams for 2026. So what is this? It's a protocol. It's a mandatory blueprint for law enforcement officers, social workers, and prosecutors to follow to investigate child sex abuse cases. The protocols seek to minimize trauma, encourage collaboration among agencies, and hold offenders accountable. This is the first time they have reviewed this protocol since 2021, and so they just basically met to establish what modifications need to be made or addressed 5 years down the road, and making sure that everyone is on the same page. The Cougar tennis squad split their match at Ohio County last night. The Lady Cougars were winners, defeating the Lady Eagles 7-0. The win improved their record to 13-2. On the boys' side, the top 4 Cougar players sat out to give some of the younger players the opportunity to move up in the lineup. The boys won the top 3 singles courts, but couldn't find another win down the line. The Eagles defeated the Cougars 6-3, dropped the Cougars' record to 12-3. Grayson County is back in action this afternoon at the Cougar courts. First serve on for the Cougars and Davis County Panthers will be 4:45. The regional postseason schedule has also been released. The draw for the singles, doubles, and team regional tournaments will be held May 3. The singles and doubles tournament will be May 4 through 6, and the team tournament will run May 15 through 16. All those will be at Owensboro. Sam, you were on the campus of Grayson County High School yesterday afternoon for Lady Cougar Softball Senior Day. In addition to the 2 seniors we mentioned yesterday morning, I also saw Izzy Atwood got recognized on Senior Day.
Yeah, Lizzie is their team manager, so it
Yes.
was good to see. It's good to see her get her recognition as well. I didn't know if you could tell that we were there because of the amount of dust on all of the our equipment. Oh my goodness! I just my laptop this morning. I opened it up and was like, oh, good gosh, there's so much. It's only a wonder how much. Steven came and joined me as well, and it's a wonder how much dust we probably breathed in the period of 2 hours.
It's not dry down there, is it?
Oh, it was just and any single time there were a couple of plays where a player slid into home, and it reminded me of like when you see sometimes you're watching a baseball game and the fireworks will go off and that smoke will just kind of linger over the field.
Yeah.
There were a couple moments where I almost had to tell the home plate umpire Rob Trantham. I was like, "Hey, Rob, can you wait like 30 seconds so we can actually see the plate?" It's just kind of funny.
So how did the action turn out yesterday?
Big win for the Lady Cougars. They won 9-6 against Edmonson County. It was a really fun game. Really good game, back and forth. Grayson got out to a 6-0 lead. Edmonton came back, and Lady Cougars never gave the lead up. And it was a good win for them in district play. Their first district win, and they've won 4 straight now.
Are they off today?
They are. They were. Remember, we were supposed to do a game today.
That's right.
Against Whitesville Trinity, and that game's been pushed back to May the 5th. So they're not playing again until Tuesday, but then we'll have them on Thursday of next week. And as we mentioned last night, you at home watching will get 1+ games. So they will finish the suspended game that they had against Butler County last week, and then they'll have a full game after that. So we'll start in the bottom of the 6th inning, which will be weird. I've never done, and it'll be weird to start in the bottom of the 6th inning of a game that I didn't broadcast. So that'll be a little weird for me. I'm gonna have to. I don't know what I'm going to do there. That's going to be something different.
It's a resumption for them, but not a resumption for you.
No, I wasn't there. I was kind of following it, so I think it's 6-5. You know, I was talking to Jeff Rack last night. 6-5. You know, bottom of the 6th inning, runner on first base, nobody out. It's just kind of interesting. That'll be a new challenge on Thursday.
Boys in action today. Are they at like Central Hardin? Did I hear that?
Yes.
Okay.
The baseball team is taking on Central Hardin today. They won last night, 8-6. I think is what they beat Allen County Scottsville last night. I know Gage Napier and Chase Balnock both had a couple of RBIs in that game.
In March, it was announced that the longest serving athletics director at the collegiate level in the nation would be retiring after his 24th year on the job. Mitch Barnhart has been at UK since 2002. And during that transition, it had long been known that he was going to take some type of emeritus position, ambassadorship, something, some level. It's in his contract that when he does retire.
I think everyone kind of thought it would just be a role like kissing babies kind of thing.
Yes, absolutely. Some type of ambassadorial type of role. And then out of left field, seemingly, it was announced that he was going to take some type of position as the leader of the workforce initiative on campus that would be a new program and pouring into the next generation of leaders in sports. It came with a lot more money than what was going to be. It was, I think, $1 million a year, and then some, I think, tickets to events, football, basketball, like an excessive number of tickets, I thought, or at least some people thought. Well, at a time when the university is making layoffs or making cuts in other departments, and this wasn't even necessarily going to be, this wasn't an athletics department expenditure, it was coming out of the general fund. Well, a couple of what Barnhart took shots at knuckleheads, one's a journalist with the Herald Leader, one being Matt Jones, was to ask questions and say, what is this exactly? This is not just a golden parachute. This is seemingly like a platinum parachute for a program that no one even knows anything about. And the biggest mistake they made was not addressing it and answering the questions. If they had a viable plan, if they had some legitimate reason for creating this or developing this workforce program at UK, and I'm not saying that we don't need it, but they were awful on the messaging about it, and the optics of it were terrible. And then when questioned about it, just sort of ran and hid and got mad. And then the governor comes along this week and says, I got some questions about leadership and decision-making at UK, And then the next thing you know, Barnhart shows up to Capilouto and says that the discussion surrounding his future role leading our sports workforce initiative has become a distraction from the work of our university. He went on to say, Capilouto said, Mitch and his family care deeply about this institution and our state, and they want the focus to return to the work that matters most for our students and the Commonwealth. I believe that, by the way. I will be interested to hear what the truth actually was in this and whether it was whether there was credence to doing this or not. But the look of it was just terrible. But I think this decision hopefully will help protect his legacy and will not sully his legacy on his way out the door, because he has had a tremendous tenure at UK.
Yeah, he's done a lot of good things, but all good things have to come to an end.
That's true. He's had some misses as well, but all athletic directors have misses. I mean, you just never quite know what you're not going to bat 1,000 when you go to the plate, frequently and every day. There are no 1,000 hitters in the Hall of Fame. If you get 3 and 10 and you're considered good. He's got a percentage that's better than that, of course. But
yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's had some big misses though.
He has. He has.
Billy Gillespie, big miss.
Yeah.
His contract extensions without buyouts, big misses.
That's true.
Mark Pope, big miss.
To be determined. Yeah, well, today it certainly does seem like that. But I do believe we know this, that there is an evolution to everything. And the college athletics game is different than it was 24 years ago. And he has been less interested in changing with the game or with the landscape to keep Kentucky on the leading edge of competition from an economic standpoint, et cetera. His uber conservatism is coming out in this regard. And so I think he just sees this as an opportunity to off-ramp, similar to the way that Nick Saban has done, Jay Wright has done. You've seen some other high-profile college coaches that are just saying, this game's not for me anymore, and I'm doing something else. And this is a good time. Whether Mitch is deciding to do this on his own or whether he's getting some encouragement, I think it's probably time.
Yeah, it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it being
absolutely.
time. We all have our time to move away, and it's time for him to do something else. And hopefully he stays around Lexington.
No surprise, Fernando Mendoza went number 1 to the Las Vegas Raiders last night. I was a little surprised, I guess, that he was not in Pittsburgh, but that seems to make sense. I did notice.
Do you know why?
Well, he wanted to celebrate with his family. Obviously, his mom is.
That's the reason.
She's not able to walk, and as we learned during the national championship game, they're very careful about standing up around her. In fact, when they cut to their living room last night, no one in the family stood. They just all sort of raised their arms and cheered and then started hugging one another, and he put on his hat. And so I assumed it had something to do with her mobility reasons, but she was at the national championship game, so I thought they may find a way to overcome that and be part of the big production there in Pittsburgh. So then that left the surprise. That left just, I guess, the uncertainty to what was going to happen with the number 2 pick with the Jets, and they went with David Bailey from Texas Tech, who's an edge rusher. Picked him over Arvell Reese from Ohio State, who then later went to Tennessee.
No, he went Giants.
He went to the Giants. That's right, because they needed him to backfill for the trade that the Bengals made.
Yeah, he's a different player than that. He's more of an outside guy. But yeah, no, they needed pass rush and so on. The Titans passing on him was a little bit of a surprise. They went with the wide receiver from Ohio State. That was the first surprise of the evening.
Were they trying to just find a good companion for their number 1 pick last year?
Probably. That's kind of the thought. And the Titans were probably in the scenario where they just needed everybody. They just need a lot of players to hopefully do that. But it was just not a stunner or anything, but it was an interesting move.
Well, they've made some interesting moves over the years, without a doubt. So you just never quite know what you're going to get with them. Day number 2, as we said at the top of the show, rounds 2 and 3 at the draft today, which will be on ESPN, all the various places that you can find.
If you
draft
care, you can
coverage.
find it.
If you want to find it, you'll be able to find it. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got plenty more on the way. Hang around here on In the Know.
At Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield, Dr. Priyank Chauhan provides compassionate care for adults and seniors. Board certified in internal and geriatric medicine, he's dedicated to managing chronic conditions, preserving independence, and enhancing the quality of life. Proudly serving Grayson County because your health matters. Schedule today. Call Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield at 270-259-8888.
Heard the story of your tattoo? That late night dare with friends seemed brilliant, right? But now, it's not so funny during board meetings or at church.
Time to erase that past with Pure Aesthetics and Wellness. Our Q-Switch treatment wipes away embarrassing ink in just 6 to 12 sessions. Say goodbye to regrets and hello to fresh skin. Visit us on West White Oak, Litchfield, or find us on Facebook to make an appointment.
The regret-free zone starts here.
Looking for a place to connect and make a difference? At the Moose Lodge, you'll be stepping into a place where children find hope and seniors find care. Experience the fun of gaming and drinks while socializing with other members in our licensed lounge. We are inviting qualified guests to visit and consider membership. Be part of something meaningful. The Grayson County Moose Lodge is at 289 Alex Drive in Falls of Rough, where community meets connection. Stop by or follow us on Facebook for more information.
You know, I heard that some people think a staycation is adventurous.
Staycation? That's just a fancy word for staying home.
Exactly. Why not set sail with your global getaway?
You mean like a cruise?
Yes. With Royal Caribbean, you can have weddings, honeymoons, even vow renewals at sea.
And no seasickness from staying on the couch.
Your global getaway. Adventure awaits on every wave. Connect on socials at Your Global Getaway or yourglobalgetaway.com and start planning today.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable. ECTC's Litchfield campus is now registering for classes that begin June 1st. Call 270-259-1540 or visit elizabethtown.kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, college for the real world.
Midway Pharmacy doesn't have the largest selection of perfume, and that's likely because they spend more time making sure you're healthy and less time making sure you smell pretty. At Midway Pharmacy, you're getting more than a pharmacy. You're getting a pharmacist who's committed to working with you on all things health-related. Because your health matters. Experience what matters the most when you visit any county-wide location of Midway Pharmacy.
Tesla is reporting first quarter earnings that beat analyst predictions. Tammy Trujillo has details.
Revenue, however, came in weaker than predicted. The electric automaker reported Wednesday that revenue was $22.39 billion. That's compared with expectations of $22.64 billion. Earnings were at 41 cents a share, above the 37 cents expected.
Elon Musk telling investors that Tesla will spend $25 billion in 2026. It's more than double what the company typically spends on capital expenditures. A big chunk of the money is going to data centers and AI robotics. Apple has fixed a bug that allowed police to find messages that had been deleted or that supposedly had vanished from messaging apps. It turns out notifications that popped up on iPhone screens were stored for up to a month. Earlier this month, 404 Media reported that the FBI was taking advantage of the bug to find old messages. And LinkedIn CEO Jeff Roslansky leaving the top spot. He's worked there since 2009. He'll retain a role at parent company Microsoft. Tech Report, I'm Mark Mayfield.
Slide with your boy to the bar. Slide with your boy to the car. I've been searching everywhere, and now here you are. Ooh, chunky. Looking for them girls with the big old hoops. That drop it down and raise it deuce.
Today is New Kids on the Block Day. It is Arbor Day. It's also Pigs in a Blanket Day. Remember the story about our famous
hogs in the
pigs
comforter?
Yeah, the hogs in the comforter. You know, for those of you that don't know that story, Beach did not know what pigs in a blanket were, or she's not really familiar with them. But whenever I mentioned them long ago, she wanted to know what they were, and told her how much I enjoyed them. I said, well, you take a biscuit and hot dogs, and some people use crescent rolls, et cetera, et cetera. But what I did not, the important detail that I left out was that you usually cut them into thirds or into halves or something smaller than an entire hot dog. So she made them, and you put cheese on the inside, et cetera. So she wanted to do something nice for me, so she made them, and she presented them, and they were whole hot dogs and whole crescent rolls with a whole slice of cheese, like a Kraft single. And so I was amused by that, and they got labeled hogs in a comforter. And
did you then go eat it in a blanket, like in the office, Kevin, where he says he's always wanted to eat pigs in a blanket?
No, I didn't do that. I was just amused. I ate them and enjoyed them, but she knew that something was askew. So, she got a kick out of it as well, and she's able to laugh about it. Well, she was able to laugh about it then, but we certainly enjoy laughing about it now. Tomorrow, in addition to, if you can survive Pigs in a Blanket Day today, then what else are we celebrating tomorrow? I put my list down, and now it has gotten away from me. You don't want to hear about the movie premieres yet. You'd rather hear about something else. Tomorrow is Hug a Plumber Day. It is Red Hat Day. It is Telephone Day. Sunday is Pretzel Day. Sunday is Richter Scale Day. So plenty of what you can celebrate throughout the course of the weekend, including today.
Well, I guess Richter scale, earthquake, right? There was one in, I guess, down in the Kentucky-Missouri border, I think, yesterday. I think I saw.
Down Cape Girardeau in that area?
Kind of in that way. Interesting.
That's along the New Madrid fault line. When I was, it's been 35, 36 years ago. There was an earthquake down in the New Madrid Fault predicted for the day. And when I was working over in Glasgow on the morning show, we loaded up and went to Cape Girardeau and did the morning show from the New Madrid Fault line, thinking we were living dangerously. As it turns out, there was not an earthquake. So they're not uncommon in that area because of that fault line. Have you been to any baby showers recently, Sam?
No.
Have you ever been to a baby shower?
I have. I think, but honestly, I've probably only been invited to one. Nope, that's been, I guess, he's probably a little over 3, so maybe 4 years ago.
Okay. There is some question on, this is in some type of etiquette trending literature, that traditionally the mother or immediate family members would not host a baby shower to avoid looking as if you are pandering for gifts. The idea was that a friend, cousin, or aunt should throw the shower because there's a relationship there, but still enough distance from the honoree. But they're saying that these days that really is changing for multiple reasons. It says these days truly anyone can host a baby shower. The rule about close family members just doesn't work anymore. Sometimes the logistics are more difficult, as the shower might be in the honoree's hometown rather than the place where they moved, etc. So there's a shifting landscape in that regard. And then kind of a first cousin to that, we are entering wedding season, or at least the traditional wedding season, June being the most popular, but also, being some May weddings as well, and into the summer. The further you get into the summer, the hotter you potentially get. There are some wedding etiquette trends. There are some outdated rules that are apparently being left behind that might be helpful for you to know. And one is that you can't wear black to a wedding. What you should do, however, is accommodate whatever requests that the couple might have on the invitation. If they want floral, make it floral. If they want white, they want whatever they want their photography to look like. So you're seeing people get specific in that regard. That's not uncommon. But black is not off limits for weddings any longer. Also, a big change in the wedding etiquette rules that the bride's family pays for everything. You're seeing that become more equitable among the parties, or a redistribution of who's paying for what. You know, on the dowry model, which we've been doing for millennia, that was typically that, you know, the offer to dowry, and then that was the payment, that was the investment that you were making. So then that turned into then the bride's family was paying for the wedding, and then the groom's family then was picking up the rehearsal dinner or whatever it might be. Well, you're seeing more things falling over into the groom's family's category these days. There is also the etiquette rule that people, a lot of etiquette people said you had to take physically a gift to the wedding, and then you have attendants there at the table who were watching the gifts, et cetera, et cetera. But now many couples would just prefer that they be delivered either before or after and just directly to them. So many online registries. In the old days when you didn't have an online registry, then it was just practical to take it to the wedding. But now it's one logistical element that can be minimized if you do it differently. There's been a long-standing wedding etiquette rule that second weddings should be quiet and small, and that the bride can't wear white. That is out the door. Says a wedding is a wedding, so if you want big, have at it. If you want to wear white, knock yourself out, is what current trends are saying. Yeah, exactly. Who
It's
cares?
your day. Who cares? If you want to wear neon yellow at your wedding, wear neon yellow at your wedding. It's your wedding.
I think a lot of people just say you did this once already, you know, and I can see some of that, and I think you will most likely see second weddings just organically be smaller, but it doesn't mean they have to be small or non-existent or basically courthouse unions.
Yeah, because it's your second doesn't guarantee it's the other person's second.
That's right, and it doesn't make it any less important. You know, especially in the case of you might have a widow or a widower. I mean, it would be a second. That would be a second, but there's no reason to downplay it because of that. So they're just varying reasons that should change. Requesting a monetary gift is rude. Apparently that was a no-no and off limits, and now it's, you know, becoming more common. I've even seen some electronic registries now that are just gift cards to the place where the electronic registry is, and that's just one step short of just asking for cash, clearly. Bridesmaids must sport matching dresses. You're seeing that go out a lot. You're seeing, if you're seeing brides choose a lot of multicolor floral arrangements, they're using that as an opportunity to introduce multicolor pastel palette into the bridesmaids' dresses so that it kind of matches the overall theme rather than picking one. Now, one of the big, huge differences from my era to this era, that wedding parties should be divided by gender. Old days, you know, all the guys lined up on the one side and all the ladies lined up on the other side, and they all had to be escorting one another, matched up 2 by 2. And that is changing a lot, because you might find, say for instance, a bride may want her brother to be in the wedding, but he doesn't necessarily have to go over on the groom's side now. As you're seeing those rules kind of be blurred as well in the 21st century. There is long been expected that every guest gets a +1. No, people aren't doing that any longer. If there's a one individual, you shouldn't just automatically assume that you can take someone to the wedding if it wasn't specified. And then, much like a baby shower, the rule is changing on who can host the bridal shower. That used to be that, you know, immediate family members would not, and that is changing in this era as well.
My thing is, it's your wedding. Do what you want.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be your day. Live it up.
I mean, like food-wise, I mean, one of my really good friends, he had barbecue at his. Like, doesn't matter. Some people have pizza. Like, just whatever works.
One of the things that Taylor and Cameron did for theirs is late in the reception, when everybody was probably getting hungry again, they had a big donut bar. You know, they had big donuts come out. And you could just,
my friend had ice cream.
It was like
he had an ice cream bar. So the same thing.
I am puzzled about So talking about a new product that's coming out, we like to keep track of these things. I have always been intrigued, but also concerned and puzzled when I see a can being carried around that says Liquid Death on the side.
Never had it.
I've never had it either. One, because I don't feel overly motivated to voluntarily choose something that is labeled as if it would cause your death. When I grew up, if something said, don't drink it, this could cause poisoning and death, guess what we didn't do? We didn't drink it. So when I see people carrying these cans around, or I see it in the store, first, I think that's a weird name. Who would name something that? And then secondly, I presume the way that it looks, it's some type of alcoholic beverage. Just the way that it's packaged and presented, and I thought that's the only way that it could perhaps cause you death, but it's not. And so I asked some of the younger people, the people around your age, what's the deal with this? And do I have this right that I was told had a wager with someone that they could make any product a success with a certain marketing strategy, no matter what it was named. And so they were encouraged to name it, like they just came up and said, okay, name it Liquid Death. And they said, okay, and they did. Does that sound possible?
But I have not heard either way as to what the reason was, so I have no idea.
So they have become successful enough in doing collaborations, and now Pop-Tarts, in fact, strawberry Pop-Tarts meets Liquid Death in a can. This is the Liquid Death beverage with a limited edition lower sugar black iced tea that tastes like frosted strawberry Pop-Tarts.
I would try it.
I wonder what Liquid Death without the strawberry Pop-Tarts tastes like. Is it a soda? Is it a tea?
Or they also have water.
That's what I thought it was originally, that it was water. I was like, you got water in a can named Liquid Death. Like that just seems unbelievable to me. But I don't know. Again, knock yourself out if you want to drink it. And then this might serve you well. White Castle is deploying 1,000 automated slider vending machines nationwide. Hot sliders in 1,000 new locations. And so will one be coming to a place near you? That will be interesting to see if one does come to the neighborhood. I presume they can operate these more affordably than like a standalone store, so you might see them coming to more rural areas. But when I thought about it, you know how they have the protective glass and everything at the White Castle? Aren't they all just vending machines? The way they, you got the sliders inside and they come out the little drawer and you get them and you go. It's just, these are miniature White Castles, I suppose.
By definition, you are correct.
We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Today's Did You Know and the weekend movie premieres are ahead here on In the Know.
By day, we're teachers,
nurses,
engineers,
managers.
We come from different backgrounds with different skills and busy lives.
But when a child needs someone in their corner, we show up the same way.
Because while we serve many roles, we share one mission.
To be the voice for the voiceless and build hope for children across our region.
That's the role of a CASA volunteer.
Right now, there's a child in your community who needs someone in their corner. We're looking for people like you to step up and be their voice. You don't need a legal background or a background in social services to be a CASA volunteer. You just need the willingness to show up for a child. You can learn more about how to become a CASA volunteer at casaheartland.org/volunteer.
Attention men, here's a great way to have more fun in bed and save money. If you want to take something like Viagra, they can give you a way to pay as little as $2 a pill. Yes, $2 a pill. Compare that to prices as high as $60 per tablet. These pills work for men to improve their performance and confidence. You'll love them. And now for the price of 2 or 3 pills, you can get 50 or more for around $100. You'll save hundreds of dollars off retail prices. That's enough to buy your date a nice nice dinner. Don't pay expensive prices for Viagra. Call now, order 50 or more of our blue pills, and pay as little as $2 a pill and save hundreds of dollars. Call anytime for confidential shipping.
Call 800-830-0715. That's 800-830-0715. Again, 800-830-0715.
Three-year-old Reagan was treated at St. Jude.
Sparkly.
Now she can spend her days playing dress-up.
I look beautiful in this.
Instead of thinking about cancer. The team at St. Jude has helped push the overall childhood cancer survival rate in the U.S. from 20% to more than 80%, and we won't stop. Let's help more kids just be kids. Learn more at stjude.org. Finding cures, saving children.
Did you know there's money available to help you pay for trade school or college? Yep, and all you need to do is fill out the free application for federal student aid, also known as the FAFSA. Completing the FAFSA costs you nothing but time, and it can pay off big. And there are experts across Kentucky who can help. For more info, visit gearupky.org/money. That's gearupky.org/money. Brought to you by this station and the Kentucky Broadcasters Association.
K105, Weather from the Wave Storm Tracking Team, is brought to you by Your Global Getaway. Start planning your adventure now at yourglobalgetaway.com.
Unsettled weather returns to close out the work week. Temperatures topping out near 80 on this Friday, but scattered showers and a few storms move in this afternoon. Some of the stronger storms could have small hail and a little wind, but all in all, the severe threat later on today is pretty low. We'll keep the chance for lingering drizzle and even a few showers early Saturday, but most of us dry out Saturday afternoon. From the Wave Storm Tracking Team, I'm Carson Meredith.
Hot and so hot in here. So hot and
Did you know people who eat spicy foods tend to live longer? People who eat spicy foods tend to live longer.
I don't eat super spicy.
Yeah, I'm not like all out on the spicy, but I don't mind a little spicy as well. In fact, I welcome it sometimes, but I don't have to put hot sauce on everything. I got to spice. I got to spice.
Good hot wing is good.
Yes, absolutely. But you know what you're expecting then. It's like, that doesn't have to be hot. We don't have to spice up everything.
Yeah, I'm not doing like the blazing or nuclear or all the different like ones that I'm in pain when I eat.
Yeah, and
in pain after I eat too.
Again, that's kind of like, why would you drink something that says I'm liquid death? I'm like, okay, well, not something that is so spicy it's going to cause me pain.
There is a water version in different flavors of it as well. We had somebody that commented and let us know that for the liquid death. I'll try it one of these times.
Those people are living dangerously. It's like just carrying around drinking from a can that says liquid death. I'm like, well,
we've put a lot worse in our bodies.
I'd say that's probably right. And we probably put things in our bodies unknowing to ourselves that worse than that. New movies this week. It is finally out. Michael. It is a PG-13 biography drama, the life story of Michael Jackson, tracing his journey from lead of the Jackson 5 to the visionary artist. Jafar Jackson, his nephew, is who played Michael in the movie. That's Jermaine's son.
Ooh.
It is getting
looking right now at just Rotten Tomatoes, not liking it.
Yeah, it's getting panned. That is not very good. So I was not going to rush out and see it either. But I'd probably less likely to even watch it when it comes to the streamers. Also out this week, the tomato meter is like 35%.
It's 40 now, but the popcorn meter, which I don't know what that is 96%. So I don't know if that's
interesting.
Is that like just regular? Okay, so that's just regular people. So regular people like it.
Okay. Well,
the critics don't.
I think people who like Michael Jackson are going to like it. I just think that's just depends upon who you are. Jason Segel is in a new R-rated comedy mystery called Over Your Dead Body. That's new today. Desert Warrior is an R-rated action-adventure movie starring Anthony Mackie and Aisha Hart. That's out today. And then Theo James and Sam Worthington are starring in Fuse, which is an R-rated action mystery An unexploded WW2 bomb is discovered on a construction site in the center of London. Chaos ensues. So that's what you will see when it comes to the movie theater today. Actually, beginning today, but out this weekend. There's a new docuseries about Kim Kardashian's 2016 Paris robbery in development, in case you're interested in more Kim K content. Peacock is scrapping the sequel series of Clueless, starring Alicia Silverstone. They were going to do that, and they say no more. They're pulling the plug, scrapping the plans on that. And Nick Jonas is announcing an intimate A Night with Nick tour. He will be in Niagara Falls, New York in June, and then Hanover, Maryland, then Charlotte, North Carolina, then Atlanta, Georgia, then Danville, Virginia, and then Atlantic City, New Jersey. All those dates will be in June, and the tickets, I know people will be knocking down the door to get to that. And then they have published the list of, we're here in the middle of spring and people doing spring cleaning, the songs that people like to clean house to the most.
Okay.
Right? The highest rating spring cleaning songs. At number 3.
High BPM.
Yep. Well, I think you can move at a a good rate. So it's good. It's empowering too. You know, it gives you, kind of makes you feel good. At number 2, I think it shows you the age of people that are cleaning. Have you seen John Bon Jovi in the new insurance commercials with Jake?
No.
Yeah. And then number 1 song to clean to,
At least I don't think I have.
is Flo Rida and Good Feeling.
Good song.
Yeah. So you see where it encourages people to move. Again, not super fast, but see you like sweeping to this. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. MB's Point to Ponder. Chart Topper's Pearl of Wisdom coming up here on In the Know.
Dylan Mills tells everyone he meets that a beautiful life is anything but skin deep. I mean, he ought to know. When Dylan was just 17 months old, he was nearly killed in a catastrophic house fire. His mother and father rescued him from the flames, but he suffered second and third degree burns over 84% of his body. By the time he graduated from high school, he had lost a foot, several fingers, and endured over 200 surgeries. But Dylan doesn't want you to feel sorry for him. He wants you to feel inspired. He wants you to believe that it's possible to channel your difficulties into a zest for life that enables you to accomplish more than you could ever imagine. Despite his limitations, Dylan became a multi-sport athlete, excelled at baseball and basketball, and was crowned his high school's homecoming king. A family friend explained Dylan's determination this way. Dylan's story isn't about what the fire destroyed, it's about everything he refused to surrender. A beautiful life isn't about perfection, it's about perseverance. It's not about the absence of scars, but about the courage to live fully in spite of them. We can focus on what was taken from us, or we can invest ourselves into what remains. We build a beautiful life by choosing to move forward, to love deeply, and to chase hope even when the path is difficult. For more to help you thrive, go to focusonthefamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
The following is a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
I had a lot of credit card debt, and it stressed me out. But what I thought was a solution turned out to be a problem. I kept hearing ads about debt settlement that seemed too good to be true. And actually, it was. When I called, they told me to stop paying my bills. That didn't sound right to me at all, so I hung up. Later, I found out that debt settlement is bad, real bad. Then I learned that there is a right way to pay off your credit cards. It's called a debt management program from the great team at Trinity. Trinity had a plan. In the end, I paid off my bills, I saved thousands, and I even improved my credit score.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-936-5348.
My name is Heather. Please forget debt settlement and remember Trinity Debt Management.
1-800-936-5348.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you're testing your blood sugar 4 or more times per day, injecting insulin 3 or more times per day, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. A CGM can immediately reduce pain. It's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. And if you have Medicare, you can get a new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. Plus, get free shipping, and we'll bill your insurance company for you. Call now to receive your new continuous glucose monitor at little or no out-of-pocket cost.
Call 800-906-9086. That's 800-906-9086. Again, 800-906-9086. That's 800-906-9086.
MD's point to ponder for today. If the doctor tells me that I suffer from genitofemoral neuropathy, should I be concerned?
I mean, if they use the first word in anything you say, I'm concerned.
Genitofemoral neuropathy.
Oh, I thought you had an L in the end of that first word.
No. Genitofemoral neuropathy. Should that cause concern?
Depending on what it means.
No, but it sounds like it could be bad. Does it?
Well, a lot of things can
do you
sound
agree
bad.
sound like it could be bad?
What is that, like hiccups or something?
Your blue jeans are too tight. That's what it means. So,
Well, I mean, that could be a bad thing.
Some people are suffering from genitofemoral neuropathy. You got to keep that type of thing in check, or it can get away from you, without a doubt. On television tonight, well, and really for the weekend, Happy's Place Season 2 finale on NBC. That's the Reba McEntire. Rounds 2 and 3, this says on ABC and ESPN. NHL playoffs tomorrow. Hurricanes at Senators, Stars at Wild, Penguins at Flyers. The NBA playoffs are tomorrow. Pistons at Magic, Thunder at Suns, Knicks at Hawks, Nuggets at Timberwolves. SNL is a rerun tomorrow night. It's the Ariana Grande, which was good, by the way. Cher was the musical guest. NHL playoffs continue on Sunday, and then Celebrity Jeopardy is on Sunday as well. And then the Season 5 premiere on A&E of Biography WWE Legends. Last night I did watch the first 2 episodes of the new Hulk Hogan docuseries that we were talking about. It was interesting to see how he looked almost, right before he passed last year. It's good. I mean, because I lived through the Hulkamania era. Like it just forever changed wrestling because of when I was a kid and they had the cartoon and everything, and it just the merchandising, etc. It was interesting to go back and look at that time and watch that character development, etc. Today's highlight in history. This date in 1916, Irish Republicans launched the Easter Rising, a rebellion against British rule in Ireland. I should tell Miss Buckles that at this date in 1800, President John Adams signed legislation providing $5,000 for books for use by Congress, effectively launching the Library of Congress. That is now one of the largest public collections of millions of books and manuscripts and maps and sheet music and sound recording, and I was just there a couple of months ago. Birthdays today. Shirley MacLaine is 92. Barbara Streisand is 84. Jean-Paul Gaultier is 74. Cedric the Entertainer is 62. Chipper Jones, 54. Kelly Clarkson, 44. Kentucky's own Carly Pierce is 36 today.
She was just in Bowling Green last night, I believe.
She was in Bowling Green last night, celebrating her birthday. Oh, she was probably celebrating her birthday a day early.
I think I saw that John Decker was there.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
She's a good artist. She represents Kentucky well. Chart toppers, 1945. Johnny Mercer and Joe Stafford, number 1, with Candy.
Candy, I call my sugar candy.
Candy, I call my sugar candy. Got it.
Who's that coming?
1954.
That's strumming. That's the man with the banjo.
Of all the songs about banjos, that's one of the good ones. Let's go to Little Peggy March. This is 63.
I will follow him wherever he may go.
Let's jump forward to 1972. We were just speaking about him a moment ago. Michael Jackson, number one, with Rockin' Robin. Okay, let's go to the 1980s. 81. I think, is there still animosity between the two of them? I don't think they patched things up, is best I recall. 1990. Dan Seals, number one, with LOA. Love on Arrival. All right, let's go 9 years later to Sixpence None the Richer in 99.
I feel like this is one I only hear on Chart Toppers.
It was big during the time, but it doesn't find its way back to mainstream very often. 2008. Jordan Sparks, Chris Brown, No Air.
She's somebody else. When's the last time you thought about her?
Chart Toppers.
I mean, I don't know the last time she came out with any music.
Yeah, makes you wonder what she's doing these days. Probably married with kids. I mean, it's 2008, right? A long time ago. Let's go 9 years ago today. Ed Sheeran, number one, with Shape of You.
Let's not talk too much. Grab on my waist and put that body on me. Come on now, follow my lead. Come on now, follow my lead.
MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Happiness is a gift, and the trick is to not expect it, but to delight in it when it comes. Happiness is a gift, and the trick is to not expect it, but to delight in it when it comes. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here on Monday for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
The Twin Lakes Best Mix is WKHG Litchfield. The Twin Lakes Best Mix, K105.